All right, guys, we've got a cool budget knife to talk about today. Or, I don't know, is it cool? Is it new? Is it awesome? Is it not awesome? I don't know. Stay tuned and you can hear my thoughts on the story anyway. This was lent in from Gary. He loans in a lot of brand new stuff, and I got to open this up brand new. This is the Petrified Fish Beluga in a brown micarta with a with a bead blasted or sand blasted, they call it, blade. So you get it in, we'll just kind of go through the packaging really quick because this is a new knife. This slides a sleeve out. You got a box. Here is the actual part number of this particular knife. Comes in a Ziploc bag. Comes with some extra hardware, some washers, a microfiber cleaning cloth, some extra screws, and a little hang tag dealio. Okay, the extra screws, I guess, if you want to change the look and do black hardware instead of silver hardware. 2, 4, 5, 6, so 2, 3, yeah. So you could change it and do black hardware if you liked. Okay, that's cool. Now it comes on bearings, but they give you washers as a fallback because a lot of people, and we are not going to get into the bearing/washer debate in this video. We might do that on one of the live stream podcast things that Alex and I are starting here shortly. More details to follow on that, please. Subscribe to the channel. You'll get the details when we are about to launch the new podcast. I think we've got a name, working on a logo, deciding if we're going to start a new channel, probably going to start a new channel with the new name. So keep a lookout on my channel and on Alex's channel from the Knife Box channel, and you'll get the details on when the first live podcast deal is going to happen. Sometime in January, we're thinking. So stay tuned for that. Anyway, we'll talk about bearing versus washers on one of those episodes. All right, so this is your under $50 budget knife. And we are going to compare it with the Kubi KB237, basically the same price. They're different knives, but they have some similarities, so we'll talk about that. Let's dive through the specs really quick first, okay? It is 4 5/8 plus closed, 8 1/4 overall, with a plus just being the fact that the clip pushes out over the overall length just a hair. Okay, that's what that plus is for. The blade length is 3.64 with a cutting edge of 3.52. The blade steel is K110, which, from what I can gather, is basically CPM D2. It's a little different formula, but it's basically the equivalent of D2. Blade thickness is 0.149. Overall thickness of 0.597. It currently is configured to run on bearings, as I mentioned. A couple of viewers were asking about behind the edge dimensions. This particular one is 0.02 behind the edge here at the tip and 0.025-ish down here. So it's not exactly even. Or the calipers just move a little bit and I didn't measure it exactly. So for what it's worth, I don't know. I mean, if that's an important measurement to you, let me know because I'm curious. And this weighs in at 5 ounces, which is just like having a D-cell battery in your pocket. Okay. So as you can tell, it is a front flipper. Front flippers are not really my jam, but you can also thumb it and you can reverse flick it. And because it's on bearings and it runs so smooth, I can actually do that because about the only other thing I can do that with any consistency would be the Coney Garius. All right. Again, that's not really my preferred way of opening a knife anyway. So it comes in, this particular one is brown micarta with a blasted blade. It comes in black, green, gray G10 with this same blade, or with a stonewash blade, which is really a black stonewash blade. So it's very similar to this one, although a little more stonewashed, right? Because this one's just kind of PVD coated. But you can actually get a Beluga that has this basically same configuration, the black G10 and a black blade, which is a little stonewashed, which could maybe be my configuration if I was going to go buy one. The clip, couple of problems here. Let's zoom in. My first problem is the branding on the clip. Don't like it. Don't need it. Hate it on every knife I have if they put the big name on it. If you put like on a Spyderco, if you have just your little logo there in the same, in this it's just kind of etched in, yeah, I'm okay with that. That doesn't bug me. When you have it in contrasting letters and big bold there like that, I just don't like it. Just a personal thing. I do like the fact that the clip is ambidextrous and there is nothing hanging up here because the clip actually goes into that little hole. You take these two screws out, you slide it in, and then you put the screws back in. Awesome, awesome way to do a clip. This one is deep carry. It's not overly deep like the Damned design where it's like a 1/4 inch past the blade or the handle. This one works really well in and out of the pocket. The clip is awesome other than the branding. Okay, I really do like the clip without the branding. Other than, again, it's a front flipper thing. My finger here has to grab the clip and the clip moves. There's just a little bit of play in that spring clip so that when you open it, the clip kind of moves and it's a little just, I just don't like that feel. Here's the blasted blade. Not a lot of branding. You've got the Petrified Fish logo, the PF on the pivot. Really nice micarta. Micarta backspacer and backspacer. Lanyard loop. It's kind of one backspacer, but you get it. Liner lock, of course, which I do like. The part number and the blade steel. So really clean blade that I like. I wish it actually had a thumb stud. I would like it a lot better if it had a thumb stud and the detent was slightly stronger. So as a front flipper, for me in general, they're not really my jam. This is so wide in this dimension that it's kind of a stretch to reach over with your thumb to get it. I mean, it's not a huge stretch because it fits, but it's a little bit awkward, right? The only other front flipper I have here right now to compare to is the McNeese Sodbuster that was loaned in from my buddy Cliff up in Alaska. It's just thinner in this dimension. So when I reach to go and get the front flipper tab, I don't feel like I'm overextending or I am reaching for it. It's just right there. So it tends to work a little snappier for me. And this detent is just stronger. Oops. So I think that's why I just don't think this is really a true front flipper. I mean, it is a front flipper, but it's a little too thick in this dimension for it to be used as a front flipper, in my humble opinion. Now, I know a lot of people have been talking about this being the greatest knife of 2021, things like that. It's pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. I've used this quite a bit. I've carried it for 2 or 3 days. Gary told me to carry it, use it because he wanted my opinion before I shipped it back to him, or while I was shipping it to him, because this video won't air until after I shipped it. Whatever. And I like the blade. It did a number on some cardboard that I took care of in the garage the other day. So that's great. Super sharp, runs good, comfortable to hold, great on doing some cardboard work, some other cutting work. I mean, it works really well. Is it far superior to the Kubi? That's also made in China. So get that out of your mind right now. Same exact price, basically, these two knives. You get a little bit more blade length on this one, but does that really buy you anything? Or does the Tonto actually buy you a little bit for some penetrating and some cutting? I don't know. I like this as a flipper better than the front flip of the Beluga. I think they run very similarly and they feel equally good in the hand. I think this actually might feel a little better in the hand because it is a thicker, taller blade or handle. So there's more to grip onto. They have very similar bearings in the drop shuttiness, which isn't really a thing, but you know, it's a measure that we take. The pocket clips are similar. This is D2, not K110. So they're very similar knives and they come in at very much the same price. So I think they're both good. I love the Kubi KB237. I will put a link to both of these down below, Amazon links, because that's what I have. They're Amazon affiliate links. So yes, doesn't cost you any more, but it does give me some commission somehow. I think maybe in the course of Amazon, I've gotten $12 from them, but hey, whatever. So here it is next to the pencil and the Sharpie. But I will put links down there just in case you're interested, and you can find it with the G10 or the micarta on Amazon. AA battery, D-cell battery. The Spyderco Delica. The Arius, since I pulled it out, completely different pricing. $48, 800 and something bucks. And that is the Arius that much better? That's a topic for a different video. But I don't know. Maybe I should do that video before I ship this back to Gary. Here it is next to the McNeese Sodbuster, just because. Very similar. Again, micarta, front flipper, bearings, US made custom, Chinese made production, different price, all that good stuff. Yeah. And last but not least, how about the Hellraiser P Series? Totally didn't clean the blade off. I meant to do that on this one. So just to give you an idea. So Gary, thank you for loaning this in. I do greatly appreciate it. I would like a thumb stud on this and a little bit stronger detent, and then I would love it much better. I'm not a big front flipper guy, as you know, so maybe that's why I'm a little biased, but all in all, it's a great knife for $50. With the brown micarta, it's 48. With the G10, it's 46. So call it $50. I don't know that you can go wrong. And same with the Kubi for $50, under $50. You can't really go wrong there either. And the Kubi comes in different colors and configurations also. And I think you can get these down to like $41, depending on just a tumbled blade or a satin blade, I think is down in that $41. So I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. You guys, I have not watched anybody else's reviews on the Beluga. So anybody like Therapeutic Edge and those guys that have reviewed the Beluga, chime in down below and let me know what you think and where I got things right or wrong. Because I know you guys spent a lot more time and I know you guys love this a lot more. So maybe you can convince me. But let me know down in the comments. Thanks, guys. I appreciate your time. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.